you guys. I'm so sorry. Can you hear me now? Is this better? Yes. Wonderful. I'm so sorry, you guys. So for 10 minutes, I'm literally on mute. That's so hilarious. And sorry. So sorry. So this is like my third attempt to do my live stream tonight. The interference, which is what I was teaching on last week. But hi, welcome. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to our live stream. Tonight I am teaching on discerning the waters. And yes, I love y'all so much. I'm going to repeat everything I just said because it is important that I give this to you. This is my spiritual gift that I am pouring out to you. So, if this is your first time, welcome. My name is Ruby. I'm a certified master life coach in the healing arts and a spirit, soul, and body care specialist. We are getting into our final teaching for this series that I call The Current. And I am titling this Discerning the Waters. I promise I'll come back and title it. It's been a riot tonight with trying to get on my live stream. And obviously when I got on with the sound, and it's okay, we're still going to rock it. We're still going to rock it. So discernment, I just did a teaching on Friday for our the Interference After Divine Alignment series. I just talked about discernment. It's a wonderful teaching. I was talking about discerning the seasons in your life. I encourage you to go watch it later when you get some time. But I am going to get into discernment tonight because this is what we're talking about. So let's begin. By the way, you guys, since I'm on my iPad, I see your comments like, they kind of like do a little cameo and then they disappear. So I promise I will come back and read everything. So do bear with if I'm taking a minute to respond. Discernment. Discernment is a spiritual knowing. It is divine wisdom and knowledge and guidance. It's like a spiritual compass, if you will, in this context to navigate through your anxiety and depression in every season of your life. And this is what we're getting into tonight. And what I was sharing when you guys finally told me, I can't hear you, was this vital understanding that our mind, our handsome mind, is super brilliant and has a spiritual space. And this spiritual space is how and where I receive this discernment. So in order for me to receive the discernment that I need, my spirit must be connected to the spirit. I just did a teaching on this as well, being one with the spirit. I encourage you to go watch that. And through this spiritual space of wisdom and knowledge, guidance, and discernment, it pours into the rest of my mind, and certainly the intellectual part of my mind where I reason things out, where logic resides, and that is what pours into my will to make decisions. Okay? So with this said, I saw you guys post something. Let me see. If a spirit you don't like is near, what are we supposed to do? Ooh. You're supposed to rebuke it, my dear one. Yes. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate that. And I hope you're having a lovely week too. Hi, Joseph. So, yes, why do I have the feeling that you have the gift of discerning of spirits, Sabas? Do you know this about yourself? Because you likely do have the spiritual gift of discernment, or I should say discerning of spirits, which I actually have this as well. Um, but yes, some of us are very sensitive to others' energy and certainly the spirit behind the person. And it can be it can be a bit much for us when we're around, especially if we can see. Some of us are seers, some of us are feelers, some of us can actually just sense spirits or energy, but some of you can actually see. Like, God will show you a visual or a vision of spirits within people. But my encouragement to you is if they are obviously, um, if they are evil or dangerous, then yes, this would cause, or this would call for the discernment in how to rebuke them. Because as I shared not too long ago, and I've actually shared before, there are many people who are unfortunately indwelt with familiar spirits, foul spirits, demonic, diabolical spirits. I could go on. There's certainly different types, different calibers, and they all bring something pretty, pretty dark to wherever they are. So yeah, it's important to discern that. And then there's people that are just kind of wrestling in their spirit because they are unhealed or they're going through stuff and perhaps they don't even know that they're being harassed by spirits. So in this case, we would pray for them. We would ask the Lord for intercession to kind of help them come to this space of realization so they can also learn how to protect themselves in the spirit. But awesome question. So yeah, let's get into this. Waters. Now why am I calling this waters? Because that has been on my spirit all month long. And when it comes to, by the way, you guys, I'm sorry I'm shaking the bed. It's on my bed. So I'll try not to move too much. But the waters of your anxiety or depression. I have given us 4 spaces: calm or chaotic, rushing or resting waters. Okay? And then, of course, there is deep waters and shallow waters. And at the start of, I think it was this month, where I asked you to take a snapshot of water, a visual, take a snapshot of it, and keep it with you all month long. And this was one of the reasons why, because I wanted you to come back to this for yourself. So, in these types of waters, where are you with your anxiety and your depression right now? Take a minute to think about this. Some of us are wrestling with anxiety and depression, and we don't even realize this is happening to us. We're not in tune with the root of this affliction, okay? Some of us are very in tune with it. In fact, we already know perhaps even the degree and magnitude of your wrestle. So, some of you have been diagnosed with anxiety disorders. Some of the common ones are GAD, which is generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder. Any of these connect with you? Some of you already know this, and some of you are not. But I encourage you, if your anxiety is too much to handle, I encourage you to seek the remedy that you need, because naming it is the first step to victory. If I'm battling a phantom, it's going to be hard for me to understand how to conquer it. Okay? But when I know this is what I'm wrestling with, this is what I'm dealing with, then I already have the upper hand in victory. Okay, and for those of you wrestling with depression, so there are depression disorders or depressive disorders. A couple of the main ones are major depression disorder. This is probably the biggest one. Bipolar disorder. And seasonal affective disorder. Some of this, well, seasonal affective disorder is very much what it sounds like. You get depressed based on the seasons. Usually, if you are in very cold, dark climates, you can actually get very depressed because you are lacking the sunlight and vitamin D. Did you guys have a question? Hold on. I thought I saw something. So, oh no. Bacon, I totally misunderstood you. When you said I still can't hear, I can't hear. I thought you meant like you can't be here. That's funny. Thank you. I totally misread that. But anyways, glad you guys can hear me now. So, those of you wrestling with these, there is still hope and remedy for you. Yes, awesome. Thank you, Joseph. And my hope with these teachings, by the way, these teachings are very general teachings. If we were to do one-to-one sessions, which I do virtually, we would get very, very deep into your wrestle with, in this context, anxiety or depression. And I would help you get to some of these roots as to why, let's say, you're just in a space where you can't get to the next breakthrough. Because it is a layer, I call it a layered affliction. There's a lot to it, okay? Because there's always a root to our battles. There's always a root to our afflictions. And unfortunately for a lot of us, we maybe hid too long, and it just kind of snowballed into what it is now. But there is hope and there is remedy, and I hope to give you a little bit of relief tonight in helping you discern the waters. So think about your specific affliction with anxiety or depression, whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you. Some of you have specific things that trigger your anxiety or your depression. Maybe it's circumstantial or your environment, maybe it's people. Whatever that is for you, this is important to take notice of, because again, when I know my battle, when I know my triggers, I can actually prepare myself, embrace myself, to enter these waters and find victory. So, which season are you in? Are you in a calm season with your anxiety right now? Do you feel like you have a good grip on how to handle when you are triggered? Or how to handle the circumstances of your life at this time? Or are you in a chaotic space or chaotic waters where you are in overwhelm, you're in burnout, you are really struggling with even finding the time or the space to quiet yourself? This is super important. I just shared on this too about the importance of unplugging and giving yourself space to quiet your soul, to quiet your mind, to quiet your body, to quiet your spirit. All of this is vital, especially when you do have these afflictions, and you know that they flare up, because they do. Certain things trigger us, certain environments trigger us. And the more in tune you are with this affliction, the easier it becomes to manage it. And this is another reason I encourage you to get the tools that you need to learn how to manage it. I do believe you can have full victory from anxiety and depression, but I also understand that for a lot of us, it is something that we've had for so long. It is now chronic, and it is now, we're in these different states and stages. So it will take longer to get yourself back, but you can. And yes, I'm going to encourage you in saying that you can recover. You can come back to a space where, even if you do still wrestle with anxiety or depression, it is no longer overtaking your life and your personality and every decision that you make, which it can. So, rushing waters, resting waters, calm waters, and chaotic waters. These are the 4 spaces that I propose to you to kind of do a little self-assessment. And I am here if you guys need anything. Certainly, if you want to do a one-to-one session, you can reach out to me anytime, shesrestored@gmail.com. Or you can go straight to the website and sign up for one-to-one session or healing bundles if that is something that sounds like it might work for you. I do work with your budget. I also have our 26% discount because it is 2026. In case you're wondering why on earth would I pick such a random number, 2026. For any of my bundles, for any of my services, actually. But yeah, let me give you a few things to take with you as we wrap up this series. If you wrestle with anxiety, this is for you. Okay? So, my anxious ones, this is for you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for whatever happened to you that created a fracture in your being that causes you to feel unsafe. More often than not, this is a root for us. Something happened to us, even subconsciously. Maybe it happened when I was a kid and I don't remember because I was too young to analyze this happening to me. But I want to encourage you that you can relearn to find safe space within self, to assimilate anxious me with calm me, because calm you is with you. It's a matter of reintroducing yourself, okay? And I must bring the inner child toward me so that I can heal. For some of you, your traumas happened when you were older. And trauma is not easy to overcome. But I assure you that you can find the victory. I am certified in trauma therapy. So if this is something you wrestle with, and maybe you even know what's happened to you, and you're ready to kind of go through this process, I invite you to reach out to me. For those of you who wrestle with depression, I'm sorry too that you have had these days, months, and years taken from you, and you have been hidden away because life has been too much, too heavy, too hard. And I would encourage you as well that you can learn to live again. You can learn to laugh again, find joy, and you can learn to be you. And I encourage you as well. If you feel that there's some spaces you want to explore to learn about your own recovery, I welcome you to reach out to me. shesrestored@gmail.com. And certainly, if there's anything specific that you guys would like to learn more about or know more about, you can always ask me in these live streams, or you can email me privately if that's what you prefer, and we can talk about it. And I'd be happy to help you work through some of that stuff. All right, I'm going to wrap up. I got to work overnight, so I'm going to take a little nap. But I'll be back Friday. It'll be our last May live stream. And Friday's live stream I've titled Taming the Flesh. It'll be a good one. I'll see you then. Love y'all. And reach out if you need me. Okay?